Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Friday, June 2nd, and welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming as always. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because I do these live streams 3 times a week, and I do daily updates on the dollar pairs and some of the yen pairs. If you haven't already, definitely join my free Discord channel. It's 100% free to join, no obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. So, we do have NFP news today. Let's get the calendar up. Definitely one of the bigger news events of the week, of the month usually, the non-farm employment change. So we have that in less than 15 minutes now, so we definitely want to get through and see if we can analyze these dollar pairs and see if we can figure out what the most likely thing is to happen with the US dollar news today. So let's get started right away with our full top-down analysis on the dollar index. Then we're going to do a quick look at all the dollar pairs, see if we can figure out what is most likely to happen today. So with the DXY monthly, I still think this looks like a big ABC correction, and I still think that this is more likely to actually end up continuing the downtrend. So let's keep that in mind and head down to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, to me, it definitely looks like a downtrend, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. I think there's a very good chance that this right here is actually an ABC, most likely a wave 2. We already got a very impulsive turn, so it's going to be interesting to see how this dollar news does turn out today, because it almost already looks like it's ended a correction with an irregular wave C. If that's the case, then this very easily could just end up continuing the downtrend in a wave 3. So let's head down to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame is where you can actually start to see this uptrend over here. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This looks like an A, B, C of B. Now there's definitely a chance that this is like a 1 and this is a 2, and then it goes up and makes like a 3, 4, 5, something like that, and that could still be a wave C, and that could still be a correction to this last move down. So that definitely is a possibility, especially since we have FOMC meeting at the minute in about 2 weeks, and that is definitely a bigger news event. So anyways, as of right now though, it definitely looks like we have the end of a trend right here. We definitely have the end of this trend. Whether this is a 1 of C or whether it's a complete wave C, I guess we're just going to have to wait and find out. But we definitely have the end of a trend, and if it really is the end of a wave C, then this will end up continuing the downtrend like that. If it's a wave 1 of C, then this is going to be a correction, and then eventually it'll go up and make a 3, 4, 5, and like this, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of wave C, which I definitely think is a possibility. So taking it down to the 4-hour time frame, yesterday we had a very impulsive move down. It looks like almost a perfect downtrend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a break of structure, which does prove to me that this whole trend is over. If this trend, like I just said, it could be a wave 1 of C. If that's the case, then this actually could end up being a 2 of C, and then it could go up later on for a 3 of C. I definitely see that that is very likely, but I also do see the likelihood that this could have already ended a correction, and if that's the case, then it may just keep on trending down from here. So if that's the case, this is either going to be a 1, 2, or this is going to be an A and a B. So really, at this point in the pattern, it's not really that big of a deal whether we know for sure whether this is a 1 and it's making an ABC of 2, or whether it's already ended a correction and it's going to make a 1, 2, and then just keep on going down for a 3, because we're going to trade a wave B just like we would a wave 2. We're going to trade a wave 3 just like we would a wave C. The only difference is a wave C will probably stop at one of these fib levels like this, and then make an impulsive turn back to the upside, and a wave 3 will actually do something like this and just keep on trending down, making lower lows, lower highs. So definitely not that big of a deal whether we know for sure whether this is a wave ABC or a wave 1, 2, 3. So we really do have a very nice looking trend right here. We have what it looks like already a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why today's news is definitely going to be interesting, because by the looks of it, it looks like the dollar almost does want to go up, but then that move up would be a correction to this move down. That's why I'm almost thinking, even though we have almost a complete trend right here, I'm almost starting to think that this is actually just going to keep on going down at the news today. Hey Ricky, hey Connor, how's it going today? Hello, Evie, how's it going? So we definitely don't really have a real clear direction. According to the pattern, it kind of looks like the dollar should go up in a correction to this move down. Now, at a big news event like that, you wouldn't really think that the move would be a correction to a move down. You would think that it would continue the trend, which is why I'm almost starting to think that this may just make a lower high again, a lower high, and it may just keep on going down. So let's look at these dollar pairs real quick and see if we can figure out if that is more likely or not. Let's just head up to the daily. So the euro dollar daily, same thing. We have a break of structure. We have the end of a trend. It looks like it could be a complete wave C, and if it is a complete wave C, then this will just keep on trending up. If it's not, and this is like a 1 of C, and this makes a 2 of C, and then it goes down and makes like a 3, 4, 5 of C, that is definitely possible. So either way, let's head down to the 4-hour time frame. Either way, it definitely looks like an uptrend right here. This is either going to be a 1 or an A, I believe. It really seems like it needs to go down for a B or a 2, and then you would think it would go back up for a C or a 3. Now, I don't really think this news event is going to cause a wave B or a wave 2, which is why I'm almost thinking that this is just going to keep on going up like that today at the news. So let's see. It does kind of seem to me like the news is almost already played into the market with such a big move that we had yesterday. But we do have to remember that the US dollar did come to their agreement on the debt ceiling, or not the US dollar, but the US government came to their agreement on the debt ceiling in the past couple of days, and that may actually be what caused this dollar to move like this. They actually, over the next month, are going to raise over $1 trillion in T-bills to help fund the US government, so that may actually be what caused this move on the dollar and all the dollar pairs. Now, looking at this, it looks like we're already going down. Like I said, I don't really think the big news event like this is going to cause a 2 or a B. I think it's more likely that it's going to just keep on going up. So I don't think we have time to do the full top down on all these. So let's just look at the 1 hour kind of zoomed out a little bit so we can see the bigger perspective at the same time. So the pound dollar definitely broke structure. We definitely have the end of a trend. Just like the other ones, this could be like a 1 of C and a 2 of C, and it could just go down and make a 3 of C. That definitely is a possibility. Now, looking at the fact that we broke structure, looking at the longer time frames, I also think there's a very good likelihood that this move down is a correction and that this is going to end a correction and going to end up continuing the uptrend. Aussie dollar, Aussie's been very strong to the upside also. We have a break of structure. This one has almost a perfect downtrend right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has a break of structure. It shows that the trend is over. It definitely could end up being a correction to this move down, but a big news event like this you really wouldn't think would cause a correction to the move up. You would think that this would actually just keep on trending if it really is going to do that. So, Kiwi dollar, does that agree with the Aussie dollar? We have a break of structure on the Kiwi dollar, definitely not as convincing, but on this one I do see 3 waves down already. I think that this is more likely to go up at the news. Hey Menu, how's it going? Hey Papatuna, how's it going? So let's check out the US dollar Canadian. US dollar Canadian, same thing. We got a very strong downtrend. By looking at the pattern, I would think that that this would go up and make a correction to this move down, and it would be either an ABC or a 1, 2, 3, and then later on it would go down like that. But like I keep thinking, I don't really think a big news event like this is going to cause a correction. It seems more likely that it's going to cause a trend, which means this is either just going to keep on shooting up like that, or it's just going to go down like this, which I think it's more likely that it probably will just keep on going down. Hey Fly Moon, how's it going? US dollar Swiss is actually one of the ones that has not broken structure yet. So it never did break structure to the downside. It is actually going up pretty strong. I think this is more likely to go down also, and I think it's more likely to break structure, maybe even ending a wave 2 correction on the longer time frames. So let's check out the US dollar yen. We have about 5 minutes until the news comes out. Now the US dollar yen really looks like it's in a wave A, and on the longer time phase it really looks like it needs to make a wave B and then come down to make a C. The uptrend on like the daily weekly time frame on the US dollar yen doesn't seem like it's complete yet. That's why I does feel like to me that this is more likely to cause a correction to this last move up. So as of right now, we definitely have a downtrend. This move up is looking very corrective. I think that this is also more likely to go down. Maybe part of a big wave A. Maybe it'll just keep on going down, eventually taking out structure, proving that this is a complete pattern on like the daily time frame. So let's check out gold. Gold is definitely a favorite of a lot of people. So gold has not broken structure to the upside yet, but it's way past the 78% of this move down, which tells me that this is probably going to end up breaking structure. It probably is going to end up going up. I still think that gold has very likely I know it kind of doesn't make sense for a lot of people, but I still think that gold has an A. I think it already has a B, and I think it's already got a downtrend for a C. I think it's already turned at the 50%. I think it's already taken, or it's about to take out structure, and I think that it is more likely to just keep on trending up from here. So then when you think about that on the sort of time frames, yes, we haven't broken structure up yet, but it looks like it already made three waves down. So like I said, we're going to have to really see this news event. It would be much easier if we were in something like this, because then I would say that that is definitely going to go up. But really, it looks like it's more likely at this point to just go down, which doesn't really make sense for most of the dollar pairs. That's why I'm thinking that the dollar is going to go down, and this is probably going to go up. It's probably going to break structure, proving that this is the end of a trend, maybe even the end of a wave C, and probably even continuing the uptrend from there. So during these big news events, I do like to watch the US dollar index and the DXY. They both kind of look like a perfect downtrend, like I said. Almost a perfect five-wave downtrend right here. We don't have any break of structure up yet, but it really seems to me like it's actually more likely to just keep on trending down. The fact that it has a clear structure, according to the pattern, it really seems like it would make a correction to this move down next. But a big news event like this doesn't seem like a correction to a trend is what this is going to cause. It seems that it's more likely to actually just keep on trending down like that. So let's go up to the higher time frame real quick. So would it make a lot of let's switch back to the dollar index. So would it make more sense for this to end up doing something like this, and this is like a 1 and a 2 of C, and then it goes up and makes a 3, 4, 5 of C? I think that would make a lot of sense in the long run if that is what it does, but this is the daily time frame. Or would it make more sense that this is an irregular wave C, and it just made a lower high, turned it to 78%, and now it's just going to keep on trending down? On the monthly time frame, I do think this is more likely to be a 1-2, and we're going to make a wave 3, and I still think this is more likely to be the end of a wave C up here, which is why I still believe that the dollar is more likely to just keep on trending down. So we have less than a minute until the news comes out. Let's go down to a very short time frame just so we can keep an eye on things. And I am definitely probably going to enter a trade also, so give me a few seconds here. Let me just see here real quick. Like I said, we got news coming out in a few minutes, less than a minute now, like 30 seconds really. So I'm going to think about buying the euro. Like I said, it's a little bit risky to get in before the news, but I do prefer, if I'm going to trade the news, I do prefer to get in, because otherwise I feel like I'm just going to be chasing it. So let's see here. Alright. Oh, there it goes. The dollar's down. And the dollar's up, I mean. So that does kind of make more sense when it comes to the pattern, honestly. So we're going to have to see what this looks like in the next few. It does make, like I said, it makes a lot more sense for the dollar to go up, but it just doesn't seem like this is going to be a correction to the move down. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. I think there's a good chance this could turn into a spike reversal. So we really do need to keep a good eye on this and see what's going on with that. I think there's still a pretty good chance that it's going to go down. Hold on a second. Like I said, I do trade these news events also, so I'm trying to make sure that I maintain my own account. So if you see me quiet, that's probably what's going on. Alright, so the dollar initially definitely did go up. Let's see what happened on this. This one, yeah, this one initially did go down. A little bit of a spike so far. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happened with the news. Let's see here. The news was very positive for the dollar on that, and unemployment rate was actually up a little bit, which is negative for the dollar. So we definitely have a little bit of mixed news. As far as these numbers are concerned, I don't really care too much about these numbers. I just care what time the news is coming out and what the news is actually going to end up being. I'm not really too concerned about whether the news came out positive or negative, because they do a lot of manipulation when it comes to the news. The news can be very, very positive and the dollar can just skyrocket down. So hey Yana, how's it going? Hey Connor. Yeah, right, I do too. I'm not really 100% confident about it, but it's okay. I got a stop loss in, so whatever happens happens, no big deal. Like I said, according to the pattern, which I do try to trust the pattern most of the time, according to the pattern, this is like almost a perfect uptrend. So you would think that this would be like a correction and then it would go up again later on. But usually a big news event is not going to cause a correction, so we'll have to see what actually ends up happening. It's probably just going to be a little bit of a spike reversal, I bet. But it definitely seems like down on the dollar would make a lot of sense, so down on the euro and up on the dollar, that is. But we really do have to give it a few minutes, kind of let it settle in, see what's going to happen. It could really go any way. Yeah, the number's negative for the unemployment was negative. It was actually a little higher than they expected, which makes a lot of sense because all those Fed hikes that they've been doing should actually cause unemployment to go up. So unemployment really hasn't gone up that much so far, so it makes kind of a lot of sense that that's what's going on. So yeah, let's see here. Give it a little bit of time here and settle in. Yeah, it really looks like a correction to this move up to me. I still am bullish on these. I still think that it is probably more likely to go up, but it could be wrong. If it does go down, I think there's a good chance that it's going to be a correction. Like if this one right here does go down, it's probably going to be a correction to the move up, and maybe next week sometime it will actually continue the uptrend. But we'll have to see. It definitely is starting to look like it's trying to make a spike reversal. So we'll definitely have to see about that. Hold on a second. Let me put in a stop loss here. Like I said, in my second screen I got my own trading going on too, so if you hear me silent for a minute, that's probably what's going on. Let's see here. So yeah, looks like it's going to make that famous spike reversal. That's a pretty common pattern for the news. What happens most of the time with the news, even if it does end up going down, it's very common for the news to make one big push and then come almost all the way back to the starting line. And then from there, it usually decides whether it's going to go up or whether it's going to go down. So if you do trade the news, you have to be really have to get used to the fact that it moves really fast within the first few seconds, and then it just ends up slowly drifting in the other direction. Like it'll make a big spike, it'll come all the way back to the starting line, and then from there is where it usually decides what direction it's actually going to go for the day. So I'm still thinking that the euro is going to go up. I still think that the dollar is going to go down. And if it doesn't, then I think that next week it will probably go down. Oh, the Aussies are already starting to turn up. It looks like that one might have been a better choice. Kiwis turning up, Canadians turning down. Swiss isn't really doing too much yet. The US dollar yen made spikes in both directions. And gold is kind of sticking to a move down, but it looks like that looks like a three-wave pattern right there. That looks like an ABC almost for sure. ABC. And then it took out structure, and then it's rejecting structure, so I bet that's actually going to end up continuing the uptrend. So like I said, we definitely want to give it a little bit of time, kind of let it settle in for a little while. We do want to check yen pairs because the yen also gets affected by this news most of the time. To me, let me zoom out a little bit on these higher time frames, go back up to the 1 hour. To me, the euro yen really looks like a wave B. Now, it very easily could just keep on drifting up because the trend is definitely still up, so it definitely could just keep on drifting up like that. But to me, it really looks like it's a wave A. It really looks like an A, B, C, a B, and it looks like it should be going down for a C before it goes back up and make like a correction to this whole move, maybe like a 1 and a 2. It does seem like it is most likely for that to happen. Yeah, and the US dollar, the yen, the pound yen just recently took out structure just by a little bit. It looks like almost a perfect 5-wave trend. So this one I think is more likely to make a move to the downside and then end up going up also. The Aussie has found some strength, big time. The Aussie and the Kiwi went from being one of the weakest pairs to starting to be one of the strongest pairs. But this one also seems like it maybe could be ready for a little bit of a pullback before it actually does end up continuing up. The Kiwi looks like it already ended a wave C with this break of structure. It looks like a big ABC correction. This also looks like a, let me clear this out, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wave uptrend. It looks like it's more likely to make a correction and then end up going up like that, like a 1 and a 2 probably. And Canadian yen. Yeah, the Canadian yen has been very strong. It broke structure. It's starting to reject that structure, which does make me think that this is probably due for a pullback also, but I think it's probably just going to be like a 1, 2, and it'll probably just keep going up once the pullback is complete. And the Swiss yen. The Swiss is being driven a little bit by the Swiss right now, which is the reason why it looks a lot different, but it looks like a downtrend. I think there's a good chance this is an A right here, and this is a B already. And that this is actually going to go down probably to like the 61% before it ends up going up for a wave C. That definitely seems like the most likely thing, I would say. So let's switch back to those dollar pairs. Yeah, dollar's starting to work its way down slowly. Like I said, it looks like a complete trend already, which does give me a little bit of doubts about the pattern because it really looks like it should make a correction next. But a big news event like this is usually not going to cause a correction. It looks like the move was already played into the market yesterday, whether it was because of today's news or whether it was because of the debt ceiling being raised. I'm not really sure, but we definitely had a big move yesterday with a big break of structure, so yeah, I think it probably is more likely to just slowly just keep on drifting down, making a big old downtrend, because I think we may have the end of a wave C. Euro dollar, nice little stop hunt. I bet that right there is an ABC, and I bet this is going to start making its way up also. Pound dollar. Pound dollars looks more convincing actually that it made an ABC and that the next move is going to just keep on drifting up. So I think that the move is going to slowly take hold to the upside. The Aussie it was already going up. It doesn't really look like it's moving too much. The Kiwi, not really too much. The Canadian, yeah. Swiss, yen looks like it needs to go down. And gold, I think, needs to go up. It looks like an ABC, and it looks like it's going to go up and break structure today. I do think that it is going to break structure, whether it just keeps on flying up or whether it breaks structure and then makes another pullback, because it is Friday, and probably within the next few hours, probably the next 3-4 hours, the market's probably going to start slowing down for the week. Silver is almost exactly the same, so let me check, see if we got any comments here. Yeah, we can look at natural gas, unemployment, yeah. Let's go see. Let's go check out a few other things while we're waiting for this to play out a little bit. Usually you gotta wait like 30 to 45 minutes before it really starts to settle in. Usually it just has to shake everybody out before it decides on whether it's gonna make a move up or down. So we just got to give it a few minutes and just let it settle into its move, and then we'll come back in a little while. So let's go check out a couple oil. Oil's definitely still going up. It probably is ending a correction. It's very, very impulsive, which does make me think that this is probably a correction to this move up. Probably is a 1 or an A, probably a 2 or a B. I think it's going to make a 3, 4, 5 of A. But it definitely could possibly make another like correction, go up and make a C and then turn back down. But either way, it looks like it's going to go up probably at least to one of these higher, support areas. And let's see the 4-hour time frame. 4 hour time frame definitely looks like a downtrend. This part right here kind of threw me off because it is definitely a series of higher highs, higher lows, but it is very overlapping, so that's why I'm calling it a wave B. And then this is definitely a trend, which is why I'm calling it a ABC, with an irregular top for the wave B, which is a very common pattern that everybody should start to really pay attention to. Now, we probably are going to experience a pullback on this one also, but it seems more likely that it's either going to go up and make a C, which would look like that, or it's going to go up and make a 3, which will eventually probably go up and take out that high, and then make another pullback for the 3, 4, and 5. So that seems pretty likely on that. Let's see what natural gas... Oh, we never even looked at the 1 hour. The 1 hour looks like it's getting closer to the end of a trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someplace up in here we had a support level, which I marked on this other chart. That was around the 72, 73 area. So probably up in here someplace there's definitely going to be some support. So maybe it will just keep on drifting up. Maybe it'll end up doing something like that. It seems like it's either going to make a wave 3 or a wave C, and it seems like either scenario it should go up. Oh, we got that 3, 4, 5 shape on there. That's going to end a wave 3 today. Maybe even a wave C. I don't know if this is known for making really drawn out third wave C's, but it could possibly be that. Now, where you have to really pay attention here is we do have 3 waves down right here. We have 1, 2, 3 waves down. Now that third wave is stretched out to the point where it doesn't look like a wave C, but sometimes certain assets do make really big drawn out patterns for the wave C, so it could possibly be a wave C. I guess you could definitely enter and learn, but it really looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. It looks like a 2, and it looks like this is all lower lows, lower highs for a wave 3. If it goes up and breaks this structure, I would definitely say that that's the end of this trend. Now, that trend could possibly be a wave C, but I think it's probably more likely to be a wave 3. And if it's a wave 3, that means it's probably going to go up and make a wave 4 next, and then probably go down and make a wave 5. Which I do think that is more likely that that is what's going to happen. So I would expect to see a wave 4 and a wave 5 next on that. Let's go see what happened with the stock market today, because that news should definitely be affecting that. Yeah, the stock market's headed up. I think it's going to take this out. It's going to end up looking something like this to make a wave B. So go to the weekly time frame. You can get a better perspective about this. I think it's going to make a wave B, and then I think it's going to make a big move down for a wave C. I think it's going to be an A, B, and C crutch, and probably bounce out to 61.8 and making a nice impulsive uptrend from there. So then you can go down to like the 4 hour time frame, and we know that we're looking for longs. This one made a big drawn out 3-wave pattern. That right there is a 3-wave pattern. This is definitely a Cretson overlapping pattern. So I'm definitely still looking for longs, and I'm only looking to go long at the end of 3-wave patterns. So if it makes another 3-wave pullback, then I will definitely go long for the continuation of this uptrend. So 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame does look like it's closer to the end of a trend, doesn't it? It might. I think maybe the dollar is going to make its way up, but it's probably going to be a Cretson, because if the dollar goes up, this is probably going to go down. This is going to be a Cretson, and then the dollar will go down, and this will probably go up. So that definitely could be what happens. It would, like I said at the beginning of this live stream, it would make a lot of sense if that is what actually happened today, because everything looks like it's due for a correction. So let's check out Bitcoin real quick before we move on. Bitcoin really looks like it really hasn't broken structure down yet, so it really looks like Bitcoin is heading up. I think it's heading up to either the 38 or the 50% at least. So it looks like it's very, very close to making its move to the upside. It looks like one big drawn out correction, which I noticed that Bitcoin really does make some big drawn out corrections. Kind of looks like an A, 3 waves up for a B, and then what? It looks like almost like a A, B, C, D. Whoops. A, B, C, D, and then an E maybe, and then this is like a 1, and this is a 2. I bet that's what's going on there. 1, 2, and then a 3. So I would definitely be prepared to start looking for longs on Bitcoin for sure. I think this is a Kretzen. It looks like an A to me. It looks like a three-way pattern up for a B, and it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 wave trend for a wave C. We do have a break of structure already. It hasn't held above that structure, but I definitely think there's more likely that it will just keep on trending up. So let me check my chats real quick. Yeah, gold probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go long on. Let me see if there's any requests in there. Yeah, I think Molatile 13 said that it's looks like yesterday the NFP news was already played into the market, which I definitely agree with that. I think that everybody pretty much knew what was going to happen today, and that the move really was yesterday. And today is just kind of going to be underwhelming, and it may, if this move down holds, then I think it might be a Kretzen. And this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it makes a Kretzen, and then sometime next week it ends up going back up. Definitely no confirmation of that yet, but it is starting to look pretty likely by the looks of it. Like I said, we usually have to give it about a half an hour, so if we give it another 10-15 minutes and it doesn't start to make a move to the upside, then I'm probably going to get out of any longs that I'm in, and I'll probably wait till next week and wait for a clear Kretzen to enter. Let's see. And the dollar. Yeah, I even said at the beginning of this live stream that it looks like it needs to make a Kretzen next, but usually these big news events don't cause Kretzens. That's my only problem. But if the news was already played in yesterday, that means that the news really probably actually caused this big trend down. And then today it was just kind of underwhelming because the news was already played in. And then next week sometime it will probably end the Kretzen and just keep on trending down if that is the case. Yeah, the euro dollar is starting to make a move down. Pound dollar. It probably is going to... Like I said, we need to give it a little bit more time before I make a conclusion about that. At least 10 more minutes before I really decide whether it is going to do that or not. I don't really think it's confirmed one way or the other. Usually it takes at least a half an hour for it to settle down, and then when it settles down, it still very easily could just keep on making its way up. Especially the pound dollar. The pound dollar has been very strong. Aussie was already going up. Yeah, Kiwi has pretty much done nothing. The Canadian hasn't done anything. Coastal yen. Yeah, maybe this is already making a way B. And then later on it's going to go down for a C. And then we'll have an ABC, and then sometime it'll go back up. Gold. Oh, gold is going down, isn't it? That's pretty clear right there. The fact that it didn't even break structure up tells me that that could just keep on going down also. But looking at all the other dollar pairs, I don't think that this is what's going on. But it's definitely a possibility, and we always got to try to look at both sides of the coin, because that's definitely a possibility that this could just be end of wave C, and it could just keep on drifting down. So we do have to be careful about that if you are a gold trader, because that definitely could be a possibility. Especially look at it, it's moving, it's starting to gain some momentum. Pretty much everything else is in pause though. Gold's really the only thing moving. We definitely got a break of structure in now too, so if it holds below that structure, I would definitely say that's the end of an ABC, honestly. A, 3 waves down for the B, and now it's in a C. That probably is what's going on, isn't it? Maybe the other pairs are going to follow. Oh, I kind of find it hard to believe that these are all just going to go back into a downtrend, but they definitely could. Maybe yesterday's move was just caused because of that debt ceiling rate hike, and now it's just going to go back into its original trend, which the original trend really was up on the dollar. And it still kind of looks like it very easily could be like a 1 and a 2, and then go up and make a 3, 4, 5 of C. Something very similar to this back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C, and then probably mid-month when we have that FOMC rate hike, wait news, maybe that's when it's going to make its move. But like I said, we really do have to give it at least a half an hour. That's kind of the rule that I always have with these big news events. Give the market a chance to kind of settle down a little bit. Get people a chance to get their orders in and settle down and get all the stop hunts out of the way and just wait a little bit and see what happens. So, is there any requests that anybody want me to look at something while we're giving it another few minutes? Be more than happy. We already looked at the yen pairs, but we can check out some other things. Oh, maybe the yen is just going to keep going up. I don't know. Yeah, it definitely could. The trend is up. That Canadian yen has been strong. I don't know if Connor's still in that trade, but that's a strong. That Canadian yen is strong. Hopefully you're still in that one, Connor. That was a good trade. So, let me see here. So if anybody hasn't done so already, definitely like and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you haven't done so already, definitely join my free Discord channel. It's 100% free to join, no obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. But if anybody is interested in joining the paid community, which comes with a trading course, members forecasts, private chats where we talk about different possibilities for the charts, then you can definitely join that also. Link for that is in the description also. So yeah, let's see. Let's give it a few. Like I said, if anybody wants me to look at anything, definitely let me know. I'd be more than happy to do so. Things are definitely starting to settle in a little bit on the dollar, it looks like. I don't really want to reverse my position because that's probably about the time that the market will go the other way. So I'm just going to give it a little bit longer. So, let's see here. Pretty much no more news for the rest of the day either, so this is pretty much it for the week. What do we have next week for news? Let's see. Monday we got Swiss CPI, we got dollar PMI. Those are both big news events. We got cash rate for the Aussie, rate statement for the Aussie, PMI for the Canadian. The Canadian has been a very, very strong pair, so maybe that'll slow that down a little. We got some governor in Australia speaking, GDP, rate statement, overnight rate. We got a lot of Canadian news next week. Look at that. And then we got unemployment change and unemployment rate for the Canadian next week. I think the Canadian pairs are going to be on fire next week. Those might be the pairs to watch next week. We got lots of Canadian news. Not really any good dollar news besides unemployment rates, and I guess PMI is okay. That's pretty much it though. Next week is going to be all about the Aussie and the Canadian. The Aussie's got some really good news next week, and the Canadian's got some very good news next week. So I think next week's going to be all about the Aussie and the Canadian. So let's see. Let me go back here and see if anybody wants me to look at anything. We just looked at Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is going up, but we can definitely look at Euro Aussie for you while we're waiting. Let's see, is gold holding that move? Yeah, kinda not. I still think there's a good chance. Like I said, it hasn't even been a half an hour, and my old mentor said that we really shouldn't make any major decisions at these news until it's been 30 to 45 minutes. And then from there, you can kind of make a better educated decision from that point. Ooh, Euro Aussie's going down very strong. It still kind of looks to me like an A. It looks like 3 waves up for a B, and it looks like a C, which is probably not over yet. It's probably going to go down to the 50 or the 61.8 to make a wave C, and then end up continuing the uptrend. 4-hour time frame. Yeah, that's a very clear pattern. 1, 2, 3. I think this is the 4 and the 5 right here. I think it just made a failed wave 5, so the wave A ends there. A, B, C up for the B, and then a downtrend for the C. Probably going down to the 50 or the 61.8. So I would definitely be looking for sorts in a downtrend for this potential wave C. 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame. We got a downtrend. Probably at 1, we got 3 waves up, most likely a 2, and then this is most likely a wave 3. Until we get a structure break, a wave 3 is probably not even over, so if you see any pullbacks, you might even get some more sorting opportunities on this. So Euro Aussie, I would definitely be looking for shorts on this for sure. If I saw a three-way pullback, I saw an impulsive move down, I would definitely still continue to look for shorts in a downtrend. We are approaching the 38%, so that probably is a very likely area to get a pullback and then the continuation of the trend later on. So I would definitely keep an eye out for shorts on that one. I cover the SPX in all my live streams on Friday, Wednesday, and on Monday. Probably not going to make a video for it because it gets a really bad click-through rate, and what it does is it drives my other videos down. So any videos that have really, really bad click-through rates, like Bitcoin I just removed, and the SPX, I will be only analyzing them in my live streams, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But I live stream 3 times a week. I live stream on Monday, I live stream on Wednesday, and I live stream on Friday. So you'll definitely get that analyzed several times a week. Based on what I see on the sort of time frames, I still think this is headed up, at least taking out this high before we make that big drop that I've been talking about. So I'm still very bullish on that. Yeah, not really doing anything. Kind of like the dollar, it's kind of in pause right now. Like I said, I don't know if it was yesterday's news, that this news was already played into the market yesterday, or if it was because the U.S. came to an agreement on the debt ceiling, or what it was, but the market made its move yesterday, and today it's just kind of in pause. Yeah, well, click-through rate means that for people who see the video in their feed, not many people click on it, so I was getting like a 3% click-through rate when on all these dollar pairs I get between 7 and 10% click-through rate. So that's the reason why I stopped analyzing that on a regular basis. But I still will look at it in all my live streams. I make sure to make a point to look at the S&P 500, Bitcoin, and the yen pairs, and the dollar pairs, and we always look at oil and natural gas, which I do make a video on oil, usually on Wednesdays, but I always cover it in my live streams also. But if anybody else wants me to look at anything, definitely let me know. I don't see any requests in here. We're approaching a half an hour since the news came out, so we'll definitely have to come back to the dollar pairs in a minute. Like I said, I really wanted to give it 30 to 45 minutes before I made too much of a decision. Oh, that's good, buddy. I'm glad you enjoy it. Hopefully you're in my Discord channel, because that is where you can actually see all my updates and all my updates about live streams that I got coming up, and you can chat with other traders, and you can really interact with a great community of like-minded traders. So definitely check that out if you're interested. It's 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. Now, you can join my membership program, but you do not have to. You can stay a free member for as long as you like. So definitely check that out if you're not already a member. It's definitely a good deal. Check it out. Let's see. We looked at the Euro Aussie. What's the pound Aussie up to? Because the pound has been so strong. Kind of looks like the pound Aussie has got that 3-4-5 shape, honestly. 3, 4, and 5. Kind of looks like it's going to actually go down and make a correction next before it goes up again. So let's see if we got any break of structure. Ooh, not really, no. Kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We don't have a breakdown yet, but I bet it's going to break down. Probably end up doing that. Probably going to be bigger than that. It's probably going to do something like this, and then end up going back up, I bet. So I would definitely keep an eye on that. Gold stabling off. Yeah, we're going to have to go back and check out those dollar pairs here in a minute. And like I said, I really like to give it a half an hour, 45 minutes until after the news. That gives the market a chance to kind of settle down a little bit. Let's see, what else can we take a look at? We did the yen pairs. Is there any euro pairs that we want to look at? Let's see, the euro pound is still kind of going down. One of my members mentioned this in the group the other day, that we might have some opportunities on this coming. Oh, look, it made 3 waves up right there. That actually may be getting ready to form a short, We don't have a break of structure up yet, so that may end up making a sorting opportunity right there. We did the Euro Aussie. The Euro Kiwi is probably almost the same. I would definitely still be looking for sorts in a downtrend on that, and the Euro Aussie. Euro Swiss. I still think that the Euro Swiss is going to end up going up again. I think it's going to go up to one of these higher Fibonacci levels, because this looked like an ABC, but if that was an ABC, this would continue down, and it's not. It's just making very overlapping, very, very corrective patterns. So I bet this is going to go up. Yeah, New Zealand Canadian is a good one to look at. That one has been on a watch list for a lot of my Patreon members. So I would definitely be looking for longs on this one. I would only be going long at the end of pullbacks. Three-way pullbacks. I would definitely still be looking for longs for sure. So it looks like the dollar is starting to turn. I still think that the dollar is going to go down, but like I said, we're going to have to kind of wait and see. Let's see, Kiwi Canadian. Oh yeah, this is the one that we're waiting for. This, I feel like this almost has to be a correction right here, and we definitely got a very clear channel going on. And we even got a little bit of a break of the channel, which is actually a good sign that it's going to actually end up going up. Because most of the time when those channels will have a false break, and then it'll just end up going the other way. So I still think this is one big correction to this whole move up right here. Maybe it will make its way down a little more, end up bouncing off that 61 and then making its way up. Yeah, 4-hour time frame, that definitely does not look like a pattern that's over, so I would definitely still be looking for sorts in a downtrend. You're pretty much never going to see the end of a trend with such a big, strong wave like that, like a 1-2, and then a big, strong wave 3. That's not going to just reverse like that, I can almost guarantee that. And the next move is going to be a correction to the downtrend, a correction to this move. So someplace between 38 and 78% of this move down, you'll probably see 3 waves up. You'll probably see an entry to go short for the continuation of the downtrend. So 1 hour time frame. Yeah, 1 hour time frame, we do have a break of structure, so I think this is just starting a new correction, probably an A, B, C forming. Probably right now we're probably just in the wave A. But I think we're going to end up going down more, so depending on what time frames you like to trade on, we could definitely be going long. If you trade on below the 1 hour, you can be looking for longs, or if you trade above the 1 hour, you can wait for the ABC to be over, and you can enter at the end of the wave C for the continuation of this downtrend. Yeah, let's go check out silver, and then we can start looking at the dollar pairs again. It's been 35 minutes or so, so that should be about when the dollar starts to settle down a little bit. Let's take a look at silver first. That's platinum, sorry. Platinum, what's platinum doing on the longer time frames? I haven't looked at this in a very long time. It looks like a big correction almost. It's definitely kind of strong, but that looks like a correction. We're at the 50%, so I bet this is getting ready to make a move up also. I don't know if anybody actually trades platinum, but it looks like it's getting very close to ending a wave C. Maybe one more push down and then up and then break a structure. Looks like an ABC. I bet this is going to make a move to the upside within the next week or so. So, let's see. Let's check out silver. Silver and gold are usually very, very correlated. So, I believe that gold is in a correction to this last move up. So, I believe this is in a correction also. This is a very strong move down. Maybe gold is just a wave A. We've been going back and forth in the group whether gold is in a wave A or a wave C. If it's in a wave A, then that means this move up will be a correction, and then it'll make another move down like that. A, B, C. And then continue the uptrend. If it's not, if it really is a wave C, then it may already have ended a correction. It's about to break structure, so it may just keep on trending up. So we really just need to observe it to see if it makes this pattern, like 3 waves up, corrective waves, or it makes this pattern, which is a very different pattern. So right now we're either in a wave A or wave 1. We don't really know for sure. We're either in an A or 1. At some point it needs to make a correction, which would be either a B or a 2. Then it's either going to make a C, which a C would look like that, and then eventually break structure and continue the downtrend. Or it's going to make a 3, which a 3 would just keep on being very impulsive, because a wave 3 is always supposed to be the biggest, strongest wave of a trend. So a wave 3 would just stay impulsive and just keep on trending up. So it kind of depends on what shape we see next on what we should be doing with that one. You could definitely trade at the end of that wave B or the wave 2, and then we can learn and earn at the same time. But shorter term, it looks like the trend is not over yet. It's probably got a little bit more life in it. I think it's got a little bit more ways to go to the upside. I would definitely still be looking for longs, and honestly, it looks like it's forming a long right now. It looks like 3 waves down. I think all the dollar pairs are going to end up going up at least one more time. Maybe not a big move, but it could be. Especially if this is the end of a wave C, then it's going to be very impulsive. Gold is not quite as convincing, but I still think gold is going to break structure probably today. Maybe it will just break structure and kind of slow down for the day and end up doing something next week, but I still think there's a very good likelihood gold will break structure today. So take that as you will. It's already reversing. 1, 2, 3 waves down, impulsive up. I think gold is heading up to at least break that structure. Let's see, let's check out these dollar pairs. I think we've waited long enough to check them out. Yeah, that was silver chart, Yana, that I was just looking at. Silver's actually stronger than gold right now, so maybe it might be a better opportunity. So let's check out this dollar. Is it going to do what we expect, or is it just going to kind of dilly around for the rest of the day? Kind of almost looks like it just wants to dilly around for the rest of the day, but I still think it's more likely to go up. Maybe it's not going to be a big move. Maybe it's just going to kind of slowly work its way up, but it seems like it's more likely to go up. What's up with that? What the hell? Oh, okay, I must have been on a different pair. Sorry about that. The dollar looks like it's going to go down. I don't know what I was just looking at. It must have been the euro dollar. But yeah, I still think that this is probably more likely to go down. Maybe it'll go down to like the 50%, and then it'll end either a wave 1 or a wave A. Seems pretty likely. Doesn't have a whole lot of strength, so it definitely may not be a big move. And it is Friday, and this is definitely the last of the news for the rest of the week. There's no news again for the rest of the week, unless, let's see if there's any low-level news that I'm missing. Sometimes I do miss the low-level news because I don't have the yellow news highlighted. But most of the time, the low-level news is not really too much to worry about. Yeah, there's not even any low-level news this week. And then Monday, I don't really see anything for the dollar. We got a whole bunch of PMI news on Monday for the euro, so that could be interesting, I guess, for the euro next week. It's all low-level news, but with all of it added together, you got Spain, Italy, France, Germany, whole bunch of PMI news. So that could be interesting when you add it all up together. Yeah, I'm not expecting too much out of the dollar. I feel like it's just going to kind of dilly around for the rest of the day. Maybe it'll make its way down a little bit. Maybe it'll just stay in a corrective mode. It's kind of hard to tell. Definitely not moving much. It really does seem like it's going to make one more push up, but we'll have to see. Not really too convincing one way or the other. Yeah, the pound dollar started to look pretty good for a little while, but now it's starting to retrace a little, so it still looks like it made a three-way pattern, so maybe it'll just go up and make a wave 5 or something. Definitely not very strong. Very, very underwhelming news. Aussie has pretty much done nothing since the news. Kiwi hasn't really done anything but since the news either. It still seems like it should go up a little, but maybe very, very underwhelming. Yeah, that's a downtrend. It never broke any major structure, so maybe it is going to kind of drift down some more. I still think that everything is going to kind of drift a little bit for the rest of the day. I'm still in my euro dollar long. I got a stop loss way out of the way, probably down here someplace. I'm not too worried. And where would you leave off? The US dollar Swiss. Not really too convincing one way or the other. It kind of almost looks like it's in like a crescent to this move down. Like it's going to make like a wave B or a wave 2. And the US dollar yen. The US dollar yen looks like it's a crescent. That looks like an ABC. It looks like it's going to go down. Gold. I think gold is going to, like I said, I think gold is going to go up and take out structure also. Definitely not too convincing one way or the other. It's very, very, very underwhelming. I would say that the news was already played into the market for sure. I would say the market pretty much already knew what the news was going to do today. And because of that, it made its move yesterday during that news that we had yesterday, which is usually not a big news event. Usually it waits for today. But we had that, whatever it's called, ADT or whatever it's called, news yesterday. Yeah, ADP, non-farm payroll. Estimated, that's the estimate, so that's why it's usually not it usually waits for the news on Friday, because this is an estimate of employed people during the previous month. So that's usually why it waits until Friday, because this is actually the numbers. But I guess the estimate, what did they estimate? They estimated 278 and they came out 339, so they were actually off by a lot. Yeah, pretty slow going. Pretty slow going. What's up with the yen? Is the yen still moving? The yen's kind of moving a little bit, definitely not much. The Aussie yen? Yeah, the Aussie's very strong. We're about up to the top, so I would expect a pullback on that one soon also. Canadian yen also. Look how strong that one's been. Hopefully Connor's still in that trade. Commodity, is oil reacting? Yeah, oil's not doing much. Oh, we got that break of structure that we've been waiting for. I bet this trend right here is complete. If that trend is over, it's either going to go up and make a 4 and then go down and make a 5. Or if this is possibly not even a 3 and a wave C, then it'll just keep on trending like that. So we'll have to... Yeah, that was a good trade though, buddy. I definitely wouldn't be worried about that. It probably is about due for a pullback anyways. Yeah, we've been looking at the dollar pretty much all day. Bitcoin, yeah, not really doing too much. Stock market is kind of drifting up a little bit. It looks like it almost wants to go down a little. Oh, you're playing both sides, Connor. Nice. Careful with that counter trend trading. You don't want to give your money back. Yeah, the dollar isn't doing much. It's probably going to make a crescent at this point. If it was going to make a move, it probably would have made it already. It's probably more likely now that it's going to make a crescent to this move down, and then next week sometime it'll go back down again. Unfortunately, the news was already played into the market. Definitely very, very underwhelming. So I'm still going to kind of hold on to my trade for a little while, give it an hour or so, see what happens. But as of right now, it's very, very slow. Maybe eventually it'll kick in. The stock market opens in 15 minutes too, so that might give it a little bit of a boost. The New York Stock Exchange opens at 9:30 a.m. New York time, so maybe that'll give it a little kick in the butt, one way or the other. But definitely needs a little kick, that's for sure. US dollar Canadian's going down. Swiss is going down a little. The US dollar yen looks like it's ready to go down. Gold looks like it's ready to go up. Kiwi, yeah, not really doing anything. Aussie's not really doing anything. Pound kind of looks like it's ready to make a little bit of a move up. It could just be a wave 5. And the euro kind of looks like it's ready to make a move up, and that kind of looks like it could just be a wave 5 also. So definitely very underwhelming for sure. Hopefully everybody did alright this week. It was a little bit of a challenging week because we had a change in direction on most pairs on the longer time frames. Most pairs did make a break of structure. So we had a change in direction on pretty much all the dollar pairs. The yen pairs, I think, were probably the better choice for trading this week than the dollar. The dollar definitely made some good moves yesterday, but there were counter trend trades for pretty much all of us. Yeah, gold's not really doing too much. It still looks like it wants to go up, but it's not really doing too much. Everything kind of looks like it's ready to move, but nothing is. So hopefully, definitely like and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. It makes a huge difference to get my videos and my streams out to new people. So, yeah, those numbers don't ever add up, honestly. That's why when it comes to these news events, I don't really care about the numbers. I just care about what the news is and when it is. The news is very, very corrupt, eh? Yeah, the news can be positive and then the dollar can go down, or the news can be negative and the dollar could go up. So, yeah, we looked at the Aussie. Nothing's really doing much. It looks like the trend is up, so I would still be bullish on the Aussie, but yeah, it might just end up making a correction for the rest of the day also, and then maybe next week sometime make a push to the upside. Yeah, it's not gold isn't really too confusing, I don't think. I think there's a good chance it's going to go up, but it might just be a slow final wave. It doesn't really look like anything much. It looks like 3 waves down. We're in an uptrend, 3 waves down, impulsive up. It's probably just going to go up and make a break of structure, and then it's probably just going to kind of die out for the week, if it's not already dying out for the week. So if anybody does want to join my free Discord channel, it's 100% free to join. The link is in the chat and in the description. Also, if anybody is interested in joining my Patreon, which comes with a trading course with over 38 educational videos, then the link for that will be in the chat and in the description also. It also comes with my members forecast that I do every morning before London session on all the dollar pairs and all the yen pairs. And then it also comes with all the chats and a bunch of educational information. So definitely check that out. It's actually very cheap for what you get. A lot of our members are definitely improving a lot, so definitely give that a look. Definitely like and subscribe to my channel, and I will be live streaming next on Monday. Will be my next live stream next Monday at 2:30 UK time and 9:30 US time. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week. The rest of the weekend especially. Keep an eye on these dollar pairs. I still think the dollar is going to drift up and other dollar pairs are going to drift down, but it's very, very slow. It could just spend the rest of the day in a correction, so definitely be very cautious with that. So as usual, I hope everybody enjoys their day, and happy trading as always.